Every trainer has a choice to listen to that voice inside.
Good. Bruh, tell me that opening wasn't badass. That's about to lead me into today's topic. No alcohol, just water today, ladies and gentlemen. So, while I kind of fix my figures here, like Batgirl cycle is all warped and shit. That's what sucks, man. But anyway, like the title says, it's more than just anime, it's more than just movies and things like that. And I sort of had an epiphany today. I realized why people who complain and let life beat them down and shit gets to me. Because I've had to overcome quite a few adversities. And I believe I'm speculating, not only from the people who I like admired growing up, but also a lot of media I consume. That's why I don't like to consume too much negative shit, but like that opening song for a minute. I think I might, because there's so many songs that I like. Like I never even watched Advanced Challenge. Like I maybe watched 2 episodes, but that opening was so, respect to the original. Respect to a lot of them. Hell, like Diamond and Pearl, Johto League. There's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But to me, that is the best Pokemon opening song, bar none, for me. But the original too, man, when that beat drops. But anyway, the point is, when I watch an anime, when I'm watching a Pokemon opening, I don't aspire to put on gloves and a vest and go catch fucking monsters. That's not what I'm doing. I'm a super vibrational creature. Like I'm an empath. And so like that shit hits me to the core. So when you got lyrics like to listen to the voice inside, it's like, yo, people who grew up watching anything, Rocky, for me it started with, I want to say Rocky and Bloodsport, just different stuff. And you see these people overcome challenges over and over. How can you still sit here complaining and bitching instead of fucking doing something? Nigga, what? It's crazy to me, man. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of times where Ash Ketchum got fucked over and in the end came out on top. One of my OG favorites, it gets me to the gym, Dragon Ball Z, dude. If you hear Rock the Dragon or anything, you watch an episode and your soul ain't ignited to go do something, I'm not going to say all hope is lost, but I mean, man, what a feeling, what a high, what a rush. Bro, when I'm at the gym and I'm working out, back when I used to take Taekwondo, indoor boxing, like, actually, that was the Ippo days, boy, and the Baki, whoo. But see, you see that, dude, my thing is, how can you not have motivation? I believe it's like negativity can be like a snake eating its own tail. It's like, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Remember Fat Bastard on Austin Powers? If you don't, he was like, I eat because I'm unhappy and I'm unhappy because I eat. See, that sounds like a snake eating its own tail. So a lot of it, I do believe, can be like a mental, like it's chemical imbalance because, you know, even when I'm like sluggish and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I just don't fucking feel like it. And it takes a long time to restart. You know, you remember the old school lawnmowers? We had to like, it's kind of like doing like a fucking dumbbell pull. Like you got to keep. Sometimes, especially as I've gotten older, it takes about 20 fucking pulls where 3 would suffice. But once I gain that momentum, you know how it sounds when yeah. I hope there's some, I can't say that. I'm going to keep it like, you know, I'm going to keep it copacetic. But the point is, I'm supposed to be dealing with these toys. Like, shit motivates me, man. The opening to that motherfucking song, that is on what, I think that's on my 2022 playlist on my YouTube for like working out, like my YouTube music. It's private, but still, like if I'm running and shit like that, that shit is badass, man. Like, so I said all that to say this. For instance, when you, from my younger generation, my mid to younger generation, right? People who are probably like in their 30s, late 20s. You've watched Naruto, correct? I hope, I mean, it don't even matter if you watch it in English or Japanese. I think that's one of the ones where Japanese does reign supreme. I don't always think that, but that's not the point. The point is, look at the different things they overcome and all this shit. They have tragic stories and stuff, but there are some that, you know, and they end up being like the antagonists and shit that lets life kick them down and just keep them there, dude. And like, I resonate sometimes with the loneliness Naruto felt and shit, like growing up, but it never stopped me. Cause what's crazy is like, I'm always surrounded by people, always friends, but I'm telling you, I don't know why, but no matter what, I always feel like the black sheep, no matter how close I am, even in my family, like it is what it is. I don't try to run from it. I don't try to fucking explain it anymore. I just deal. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like this, but I'm still here. I'm like, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So when people are like unhappy, even with your toy collection, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel like, oh, because I don't have that figure, it's not complete. So what? Yes, it is. Because the one you did buy was the one you should and did want. If you had to choose between two figures, and whichever one you chose, because you know I'm a firm believer in choices and trade-offs, you went with that one. Let that one make you happy. I'm telling you, no matter what it is, insert noun, you will chase it forever. I don't care what it is. You'll never be satisfied. You will want more and more and more and more and more. Like, I don't care if it's food. I don't care if it's toys, if it's money, if it's men, if it's women, if it's success, if it's attention. You are always going to chase it. And if you don't take a moment to just, I'm happy about this. I'm happy about this. I like where I am. Oh shit, that just happened. I'm happy that happened. Now that seems a little just too like, you know, passive, but I hope you get the point. Sometimes like a setback can be an asset. Yes, it could. I'll use my naval journey as an example. It's been now coming up on 13 years. It's only September makes 13 years. So I've always said I was 29, turned 30 in A school. I would try like, dude, like, and I found out try harder, die harder. You got to find that medium. So I was an E1. And I mean, I'm a personnel specialist. So in the Navy, we have what's called quotas. What that means is, I'm sure you might know, but the way it's used for PS, let's say I was an E1. Back when I joined, E1, E2, E3, that was automatic, but you had to wait. Between E1 and E2, 9 months. E2, E3, 9 months. E3, E4, we used to have to take the exam. Now they don't have to. It's you automatically get it as long as you don't fuck up, and it's based on your eval. But I had to take the exam for that, but that was only a 6-month wait. So that's 996 before I could even become a petty officer. Then you have time and rate. So you have to wait 3 years from E4 to E5. You have to wait. No, that's a lie. You have to wait 1 year from E4 to E5 at the time. Then you have to wait 3 years for E5 to E6, 3 years, E6, E7, and so on and so forth. Now, the quotas are what makes the difference. So when some people in the military, in the Navy, they'd be like, yeah, I made it in 8 years and stuff like, well, what was your circumstances? What's the rates you have? Some rates, AKA our jobs, that's what we call it, our rating, are 100% all the time. So that means basically our exams were never pass fail. It was, okay, 3,000 people took it, but in that specific job, AKA rate and or rank is where you get into the E4, E5, E6, so on and so forth. They're only promoting 8% of the 3,000 people that took it. That means worldwide, the entire Navy for active duty, because they have their own separate tests for reserves. Active duty, 3,000 people, and it'd be more than that, but only 8% are going to advance. That means I am now going against 3,000 other people, okay? So, you know, needless to say, you know, E4 to E5, that was easy. E3 to E4, that was easy, donezo. So from E1 to E4, I was making it just like that. Now E5, it was a little bit tricky. It took me 3 times to take that shit. Then I made it. Now for E5 to E6, which not everybody makes E6. Like I champion that. Like I'm like, yo, I'm an E6. Fuck yes. I champion the fuck out of it because there's a lot of things that the more you rank up and responsibilities to where you have to make yourself competitive. Now, there are some people who be like, I'm gonna get to like the naysayers in a minute, but I studied. I'm not like the greatest person to retain knowledge. I am a hands-on kind of person. So you can show me something 100 times. If I do something 5, I've got it mastered before looking at it 100 times. Like you can watch those little videos, those training videos at some people's jobs. Until I actually get my hands on it, it don't matter. It don't matter. So anyway, I can study. You do extra things like volunteer service, like I've done. I made a video, but that was on TikTok. My volunteer service, schooling, extra things with the command. Like I just was in charge of the change of command. Let me tell you, that was draining, but I did it. But with that being said, then when it comes time for evals, you then use those bullet points, put that on there, your evals. Your evals now translate to more points on the exam, more points on the exam. Boom. Sarah, you see what I'm saying? See how that works? But there are negative people in the Navy. I'm not just talking toy tubers and stuff. I'm just saying, period. Like, I just don't have a defeatist bone in my body, dude. I feel disgusted with defeat. I don't fucking like it. Go back. Defeat does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, sensei. But real talk though, like, I just don't like it. I even love that speech from Rocky Balboa. Keep moving forward. Dude, that speech was so badass. I remember Xbox used that shit. But it was so much more powerful hearing him say that shit. And in one quote, he was like, the world will beat you down and keep you on your knees if you let it. And not pointing fingers at him, her, everybody, president, saying you ain't where you want to be, because cowards do that shit. And I firmly agree with that. Be content with where you are, but don't complain about the shit. One thing my papa said to me, who I'm still half the man he ever was, he was like, son, he talks so formal to me. It's weird that my mother and family members tell me he was a goofball. I don't see that shit, but I just see the drill instructor. But he was like, son, when you get there, get everything you want because they're going to get everything out of you. And then the second thing to add on today, he was like, when you sitting there and you in the barracks and blah, 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 everything you got was everything you asked for. I'm going to let that marinate for a minute. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Everything you have is everything you asked for, period. No matter how little, or you can't even measure success. Your success is measured by your metrics, not mine. Some people are like, oh, you an actor now, you made it, you successful. Define success, motherfucker. You set out a challenge, you had a goal, you mapped out a plan to get there and you made it. If your goal was to save $100 and you did it and it took you 3 months, you were successful at that. Now what's the next milestone? So I'm still chasing success and enjoying it as I go. Some people want it, I am going to do everything I'm supposed to do because we have like a path, we don't have dead end ranks. Like you have a path to just keep growing. I will make chief. That's not something dude, one thing about me, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I know, when I try, success comes. It might come at a slower pace, but then guess what? I'm so lax that the level of responsibility that comes with different things as I've ranked up, I would not have been able to handle as an 18-year-old, as a 19-year-old. You know what I'm saying? That would not have happened. I know 25-year-old me. I lived that. So, but anyway, there's naysayers in the military. One is my cousin. I'm not going to use names. And if you're watching this, I need you to understand where I'm coming from with this. Because I get frustrated for people that I care about. People in general, man, especially if you a man. I'm not sexist, but bro, there's a difference. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Is different. We literally, biologically are built different. And I can't accept, I'm not getting online crying about, man, they ain't got no jobs. They ain't got, man, what? You will never hear me feeling sorry for myself. Even though I deal with depression and shit sometimes. I've made videos. It's no secret. Some people say men shouldn't I don't get on here crying and shit, but dude, fuck that. It is what it is. There's no, you know what I'm saying? I try to be the realest version of myself that I could possibly be. I don't code switch. I just know the room that I'm in. From I remember, and I'm about to get back to it. I remember I was actually briefing the triad And I was like, good morning. Wasn't even like thinking, but I have such a rapport. It's not like when I left there, it's like, that motherfucker demote. No, he laughed. He was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, my apologies, sir. I just thought I'd make us all laugh. But, I can play off of it. But normally when I say to people when I walk in the office, I'm like, good morning, like Medea. But anyway, but I'm still me. I will brief you professionally, but I'm not just sitting in the office chilling, running my mouth, and then when somebody comes in, straighten up. No, the people in the office are getting the same me that the people are coming in. But anyway, fuck all that. So my cousin, we have what's called a warfare device. Okay, with a warfare device, there's several in the Navy. I don't know how other branches work, but my rate, which is a PS, I'm a surface rate, which means primarily the ship. But there's a whole lot of other avenues. So PSD afloat is where all of us PSs are. Nobody has joined the military for free. So with different pays, different budgets, different things, like there's literally like 75 titles for me to like acquire. It just depends on what duty station I'm at. Anyway, so my primary device is that as a PS, not attached to anything, is that of a ship. It's my expeditionary warfare, aka a ship. I'm trying to keep it layman's. When I'm in a squadron like this, even though this is a helo squadron, it's my air, not my golden wings, but still like my air warfare. My first command ever was a F-18 Super Hornet. Hell yeah. If you know, you know, 2-seaters. But I was like, okay, I got in. I was hungry. Like I'm an admin too. Let me tell you something, downstairs, and my cousin is an admin. So that's what really boggles my mind. Like, we have to be competitive against maintainers. Maintainers are those who basically I put jets up in the sky so they can go drop warheads on foreheads, as they say. But anyway, how do you what can you do? It's not just your job. You can show up and go to work. You do your job. Hey, that's great and all. But what else are you doing to improve yourself? There's different wickets. Like, what are you doing outside for self-improvement? It can be schooling. It can be a certificate, NKO course. What are you doing? Are you just steady as she go? You know what I'm saying? So I was hungry. I was like, let me get you got to learn your job. And I was like, okay, let me get my wings. PSSN, he's getting his wings and blah, blah, blah. When I tell you, like, the first of the year I ever got was Blue Jacket of the Year. So that's E3 to E4. I was an E4. And I didn't know this at the time, but like, you already don't qualify against me if you didn't even at least in our rank, because you're ranked against each other in your rate. I mean, in your like rank. So E4 is rated against E4. So E3 and E4 are rated against each other because, you can kind of make it. But anyway, point is, the people I walked past to get that of the year, because you get of the quarter, which means, okay, of the quarter, I beat out other people who were put in. Then there's 4 quarters. So now 4 of us go up. I beat those other 3. If you didn't have your wings, you didn't even qualify. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I was telling my cousin, yeah, if you on the ship right now, get like your warfare device and things like that. Like when you're on the ship, especially for a deployment, but on a ship, like when you go underway for like 3 months, you live, you work and all that shit. So you go to the ship, you go to your job, you go to your office. Imagine you wake up, brush your teeth, shower and shave, as we say. You go down the ladder well, and then you're in your office. You live where you know what I'm saying? You've watched One Piece. Okay, so that being said, you clock in, you clock out, but not really. You at work and then you leave work. What else you got to do? Is what you have to do a crutch or an asset? Now, I myself will play the game and stuff like that. Bro, like, yeah, somebody was asking, that you beat Resident Evil yet? Not yet. But the whole thing is, on the ship, I would make time for the game and I would allow like certain amount of times for literally just bullshit. I had to go to the after the ship to meditate, because you miss home, especially on the deployment. Imagine 6 months or more where you're working every day. When we get 4 days off, like we're about to for Juneteenth and stuff, and people are like, must be nice. The military is always hiring, motherfucker. Please, by all means, go do it. Then go underway for 6 months with no days off. That doesn't mean you don't have any liberty, meaning like time away from doing your job. And if you a reclusive person who don't talk to people, you are going to be miserable as fuck. But anyway, I digressed. So I'm like, cuz, get that. Like, I'm trying to give you ways, like to make yourself competitive. He says the same thing that most people would say that just drives me crazy. It doesn't do anything. Oh my God. Then you are, in the famous words of Obi-Wan, well, then you are lost. Hey, hold on. That didn't just come out of my head, motherfucker. I am like about to put out my Obi-Wan, so that's literally why I got it out. But then you are lost. It is a means to an end. And what I'm trying to explain to him, and if you're watching this, what I'm trying to explain, but I don't think he's going to watch it because he's underway. You got that word for, okay, you're a sailor, Smuckatelli. I do my job and I do it well. What else can I write out on this profile sheet to make myself competitive against the other person, the other 10 people? Sailor Smuckatelli, they're proficient at their job and everything's cause and effect. They did this many things, entitling this much money. They did this and they led that off duty. They committed at least 3 hours to community service, giving back to their community. They're furthering their education and also self-improvement. They're going to school and that and the other. Or if it's not that, Sailor Smuckatelli is showing dedication to the platform. The platform is like whatever, like right now I'm in a helicopter platform. Is it an HS3? I forget which helicopter we are, but like it's a certain, like, cause you know, there's jets, and then there's so many different types. So, you know, showing dedication to this platform. Cause like at the end of the day, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the Navy. I think the Navy and Marines, since they like this, but Navy especially, like, there is no one to save us. When you're out to sea, if the ship starts going down, motherfucker, you not calling 911. You save that ship. The fuck do you mean? If that bird hits the deck, God forbid, and it doesn't land the way it needs to, who you think is in damage control? You. The entire ship. Now, not everybody needs to be called to arms, but that's the purpose of basic training. So when you are getting your warfare, you're learning about the jet. You're learning, you know what? If you don't know certain things even about the jet, just walking around it, you're a danger. You don't know that when they bring the jet in, they ground it. You know, it's like a PTOC static happy hand. Basically, when a jet's flying, it is building up electricity, static. If you were to touch that windshield, you are dead. You are fucking dead. I mean, the canopy, not windshield, but you are dead. That shit needs to be destatic, whatever it's called, and they ground it. So they connect things to like these, I can't think of the terms right now, but they ground it. If you don't know that, you don't basically know the basic shit of you going around that ship, the different CADs, the different weapon stations and shit like that. You that stupid motherfucker on a scary movie that just fucked yourself up. That's just basic. So you showing that you familiarize yourself with this aircraft, this ship or something, on getting the surface, you got to go through damage control. So you know this motherfucker knows how to fight a fire. They know how to stop a leak. They know how to tie a knot when it comes to different knots. You know what I'm saying? So you can assist in saving this sinking ship. But if you have no clue, when shit hits the fan, you'll be like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? At least out of everything, you get basic first aid. I remember we actually jumped into action. I was at church one time and this lady just literally started seizing. She started seizing. And you can't have room like most people like, dude, ABC, air, breathing. You have to like give them space. You have to do different things before you start administering CPR. You have to see how the pupils dilated. There's different things. You got to see, are they going into static? Are they going into a different type of shock? Different things require different things. And so you just showed the command, you know that. You competitive as fuck because you had to sign your books off, study it. You had to take a written test and then you had to board. But I'm going to tell you something else that you guys need to know. Wherever you go, that's where you are. You take you wherever you are, period. So if you don't have the kind of drive, determination for this, what do you have it for? Getting the next high score on a video game? Fuck out of here. Like, what does that get you? Dude, even if I played in an e-sport, that is not a transferable skill. I'm sorry. I would not bank my life on what? Bro, I don't care if the purse was 50 million. Nah, that's a damn lie. But still, like, I don't think many EA competitors do. Like, how long does that last? Like, you got to think long run. You ain't about to be 90 years old. Like, bro, I would never let that be my main source. But not everybody, that's 1%. That's like saying I'm going to be an actor. Fuck that. No, it's not impossible, but it's improbable. And I refuse to put my eggs in one basket ever. I've never been like that. So if you as a man have no drive, you know what I mean? Something bad happens, you're like, oh, here they go again. Like, dude, what? That just sounds gross. There's people like that in the military. People who come to my office like that. And I start shutting down. I start ignoring them. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, dog, I don't ignore them like, all right, I'm about to get back. You know, I give EQ clues that like, okay, I'm done hearing that bullshit. I've heard you out, but I'm not by you. There's no like, dude. And half the time it's people that I know. I'm like, bro, you lazy as fuck. What are you talking about? You don't do shit. Like, so like, what do you mean? I'm of the sound mind that I see something needs to be done. I'm going to do it. Like, that's just who I am. That's what I've been trained to do. But I digress. And so it's like, if you're not happy with where you work, don't like cut the TV off. If something's not affecting you personally, you have no fucking opinion. Why are you even talking? How do these people take to the internet so much instead of going out here getting this bag? I don't get that. Or anything. Let me tell you, so yeah, I was an E1 older and shit like that. Like, yeah, you see my grays and stuff like that. But like if I shave, nope. And then my grays are really here. See, you don't really, but I don't even give a shit about that. I'm never going to dye this. That is never going to happen. I'm not like taking a stance. I don't care that much. I'm getting older. It is what it is. Why the fuck would I hide that? But, yeah, in A school, here's the first time I was kind of like the Naruto kind of, damn, I'm defeated, where I almost make it. Damn near like Goku almost making the World Martial Arts Tournament. So we have what's called AAP, Automatic Advancement Program. They have two spots. There's like the honor student, and then there's like the runner-up. I remember like, well, the honor dude, he was my carrot. I was chasing. I'm on your ass. I'm never the jealous type. If I see something you got that I aspire to, I'm trying to see how you doing it. Or I'm trying to work you out of it. Period. If you got something that I want, within legal limits. I'm not talking I'm gonna go hit somebody over the head, but I'm driving. Dude, on the weekends, I remember my A school was in Meridian, Mississippi. Look that shit up, bro. And in November, freezing cold. It would snow, deer and shit running around. I'm from the city. I'm like, hey, I ain't fucking with no pack of deer. Motherfuckers like, you scared of a deer? Okay, go watch these animals attack the motherfucker. If a pack of deer decided with the male deer in the front, bro, if they decide to attack, I'm fucked. What am I gonna do to a deer? Try to punch a deer? What? Hell no, I ain't fucking with that. But I march my ass, because you got it when you go to the Liberty, when you go to the schoolhouse, because you can go after hours, because you have to log on with your CAC or your military ID. So you have to be in uniform. So while, they playing, I remember I used to play Batman or Arkham Origins. It was around that time, 2013. Look that shit up. I can't make it up. So I'm putting on my boot. They're like, McCown, where you going? I'm about to go down here for a couple hours. Marching my ass to the schoolhouse to get in a little bit more study. And motherfucker, tell me I'm not driven. And also, the carrot was, motherfucker, I'm too old. I need to rank up as fast as possible. But I missed it by 0.4. I still remember that she beat me by 0.4. And, going to the next command and still like that. So that's just one of many stories where it's like I'm beat down, but that shit's not keeping me down. So that's what I don't get, dude. Like, that frustrates the hell out of me. There was somebody when I was at E3 that was like, it's no point. And guess what? I straight skipped over that bitch. She eventually and then kind of skipped it, and then we leveled off, but it's a means to an end. Now, I've never broke my back for no damn body. I've never kissed ass, but I've definitely showed respect. That's how it works. Get the 48 Laws of Power. I've not finished it, not even close, but I like to refer to it for different things. But like, you have to be humble. You have to be like, okay, like, I'm not like, yes, sir, let me kiss your ass. But like, sir, you have to have a cultural fit. You know what I'm saying? And people who don't, I'm just like, that's how you going to be for the rest of your life, man. People who get mad, like, I'm getting out, I'm about to go make this. No, you're not. Unless you change your ways somehow, because if you don't like staying 30 minutes to an hour late to finish this project, do you think successful? I would normally say, because I'm in office, I say corporate America, but nowhere where you're like highly successful are you clocking in at 8, rolling out at 5. Like, that's not going to always happen. You're going to have to stay, especially if you salary. You're going to have to sometimes put in those hours, because on the same note, you get to leave early as fuck so many times. So it's like give and take, choices and trade-offs. I literally just got called in Friday. We get off at 12 noon on Fridays. I got called back in because there's a certain thing and I was just making fun. I was talking to a friend of mine, Tiffany, if you're watching this, it was like, my office, it was a 5 heartbeats dude. I think his name was Ray or something. He's like, my office hours are between 9 and 5. He was like, no, fuck that. Then he started whooping his ass and hung him outside the window. My office hours are between 9 and 5. And I was joking, and then I got called back in. I was asked. I could have lied like, hey, McCown, what you up to, man? I just got done knocking back a few. No, this is what we do. Let me say that again. I remember Rambo said that shit. This is what we do. Whatever you doing right now for your profession, this is what we fucking do. Pull your fucking pants up, take your diaper off, and fucking do it. Collecting toys. This is what we fucking do. If it costs too fucking much, earn some more money and buy it, or just don't fucking get it. It is what it is. Now, you can state your grievances, but if you're just gonna keep on complaining about this shit without a resolution, my complaint for expensive shit, let me get some more money. And or just not buy that shit. They can fucking keep it. I probably would have bought it. You obviously, if you thought making it $7 more when it could have still been 20, you would have got an extra 20 out of me, vice the 7, but it's the principle of the whole thing. But I'm not a marketer. I don't know. That's not my profession. But I said all that to say this. With that song, with animes and shit like that, I never like pretend I'm that anime character or that movie character. But I look, cause someone wrote that character. Someone wrote that story. They probably pulled from life experiences and things like that. So I'm pulling their experiences through what they put out on film, on paper, on a video game, whatever the case may be. So once again, kind of like Ash Ketchum. From the day he woke up, his ass was late. He got the leftover Pokemon. My original one, some of them was like ragtag shit. My favorite Charmander, this motherfucker was left to die. That was sad as fuck, but still loyal as fuck. Pikachu didn't want shit to do with him, but he showed his loyalty. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't just and to all my nerds out there, that's great. But I'm looking at the character of these people, shit like that. When I'm watching Baki or Dragon Ball, I'm not looking at, that's why I realized, because I was like, why the fuck did I ever like Vegeta? I just liked his tenacity, but I'm not going to, a different argument later on. He was weak as fuck. He ain't never did shit on Z at all. Maybe a little bit on Super, but nah. I ain't never seen somebody talk so much shit and get their ass whooped left and right. That's the real flex. But the point is, like, his tenacity, his determination, like him, for example, to him, they cut it so easily. Nigga, do you know what Goku went through? What? And then, if people, Vegeta knew he killed his own man, he didn't care that his father got killed. I think he said, I was mad that I was under his thumb and shit like that. Dude, like, the point is, Goku went through way more. Had to watch his son getting his ass whooped, his best friend explode, somebody who basically was a father figure to his son get killed, saving my life. He trained in that gravity and space and all that. Man, get the fuck out of here. Easy. My Trunks, easy. Have you seen the history of Trunks? Easy. Nigga, all you've done is had shit spoon-fed to you since you were born. So that's a great point right there as well. So many times he make it look like they gained it so easily. No, motherfucker. Are you out of your fucking mind? What? So, for my nerds out there, be it G.I. Joe, Lieutenant Falcon. That's why he was my favorite on that movie. Be it Hot Rod, who never wanted it, but it was bestowed upon him. Be it motherfucking Batman. This rich man goes out and tells, dude, I make fun of Batman so much. I'm like, yo, almost everybody in DC's parents were murdered and shit like that. They didn't have a rich family trust to like help them feel better. They got put up in homes and shit. Or am I lying? Superman lost his whole fucking planet, but that don't count because he was a baby. But still, you know what I'm saying? So many people had tragic backstories. You're not the only one. Still never got over that shit, but he's still out there. When you think of Batman, the Batman we know, what do you think? Never gives up. You think Batman would just be like, oh man, can you imagine Batman sitting here? Yeah, man, it's fucked up. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, what? So whatever your nerd interest is, Harry Potter. He went to school, motherfucker, dude. It ain't his fault. Did he ask to have his parents blown up and destroyed to save everybody else's ungrateful ass? And I just came to school like, well, you got to get in here on merit. Like, motherfucker, do you know what he went through with the Dursleys sleeping under a motherfucking staircase? What? Yeah, that's the shit I look at. But did he turn evil? Did he let it, make him bad and all that bullshit? No. I'm just looking at these characters and things. The list goes on. Whatever your nerd thing is, put it in the comment section. Chances are I've seen it and I can tell you who was the chosen one or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna let them like motherfucking put me down, motherfucker. I'm gonna show you. So, I think that's why. So, once again, it's more than just anime to me. It's more than just a fighting movie of action. That's why some mindless action movies I don't even like to watch. Like the action looks cool, but I've never really found the appeal. Like when I watch like just like foreign, like like let's picture Bank and stuff like that. But like if you ever got like rips, I'm not gonna get into it, but certain like fighting movies and shit, I watch it, but I don't go like it doesn't light a fire under my ass. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no stake. It's nothing. It's just pretty punches and kicks and shit. What's behind it? That's why when my friend tried to show me, look at this badass anime fight scene. If I don't know what's at stake, what's the weight of this fight, it means absolutely nothing to me. That's just fun, excitement, blast. Excitement? So, I invite you to look at it as more than just anime, more than just video games, more than just a movie. And see if it doesn't change your mind. Does it light a fire under your ass? You all know it. Like, one more little thing I also see, because I notice about people, I don't like mistreatment of other people. I can be a bit of a bully because I talk shit. But where the rubber meets the road for human rights, dude, I don't care who you are, what you identify, none of that. Basic human rights and decency is something I'm all about. Even people that I'm close to, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Was I talking shit? Dude, somebody who's watching this, if you've actually had a conversation like that with me, because we just talked about it. Like, you can come at me and like, hey, what you did was kind of fucked up. I will take some shame in my shit because a lot of people will watch Naruto and Ash Ketchum and other animes to where the protagonist was just mistreated. But how do you really treat people? Like, be honest. You don't have to put it down there. How do you treat people? How do you treat that quote unquote, fuck that weirdo. Weird because of society. I'm weird to a lot of people, but I'm inviting. I've invited people like, yeah, come chill, see it like this, but I'm making this video too long. I just want to say it's more than just anime. Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe, holla back. Hoo-yah.